following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Live video streaming of this event is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.
By Coach Silkowski. Coach, good morning. How you doing?
Good.
We're going to talk about the game in a minute, but let's start with a big positive thing. Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears picked you as Coach of the Week.
Yeah, very awesome honor, and program's getting a lot of good publicity this season. Keon got Player of the Week.
Keon got a few weeks ago or something.
Yeah, after week 2, after the Eisenhower game, and then now I'm to recognize the coaching staff. So yeah, pretty good year for us publicity-wise so far. Tell
us a little bit what that involves. The thing. I mean, I know it's been out there, but just tell the listeners.
Yeah, they just pick a coach a week in the state. I think there's like a panel, I'm sure. So yeah, I get to go down. I'm assuming the same game as Keon, but I'm not sure. And get recognized at halftime. Get to go to some luncheon at Hallis Hall, which is in Lake Forest.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do they know you're a Cowboy fan?
I don't know if they know that.
We'll keep that on the down low.
Yeah, I may not want to tell them that before you eat. So anyway, that's positive things going on.
Yeah, very positive. 5-2.
5-2. Now
life's good right now for us, but we're not done. We're still hungry. So looking ahead at U-High now.
Fairly healthy.
Yep, healthy as you can be at this time of year.
Yeah.
Well, let's move into the game last night because you had the state championship Rochester Rockets in.
Yeah.
They give us a good look.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. I think Jake said it, we're healthy, and that's the best takeaway. They're a machine. I mean, there's no shame, I kind of tell the kids, like, they do that's what they do to people. They just come in, they beat the brakes off you, and they go home.
Yeah. They
do it classy. They do it very classy. Their kids don't chirp at you. Their coaches are classy. They do things the right way. And they just go home. They do their thing.
They're just solid at every position.
Yeah, there's no weak spot. Usually you watch film, you can kind of find an area you want to attack. Those don't exist when you play a team like that.
And it's the first time that really I think this year that we saw that they took our speed away. Like it's just irrelevant.
Yeah, when you play fundamentally sound, and they had some really good athletes too.
Oh, absolutely.
They got some guys that'll go play some big time college football, and
they're
good.
I mean, on the defensive side, they were quick to the ball, and like we were talking pre-game, they just didn't miss tackles. I mean,
no, they
wrapped up and they had you down on the ground at the first player.
Yeah. So
it was impressive.
Yeah, it's a machine, but we're out healthy. We're on to the next one, and that's kind of where we're at.
Well, if you get to practice 4 or 5 weeks extra every year, and you're always practicing against state championship caliber teams, you get better.
Yeah. The roster's huge. Their coaching staff's really large. So yeah, they're just better and at a bigger point in developing their program than anybody else.
Yeah, on some ways you like to play a team like that and let your kids see what that is and how it looks, and in other ways you look at it and go, wow, why do we have to play them? But they're fun to watch, and they're going to be out there, in those playoffs going deep.
You would imagine so. Imagine.
We talked about injuries a little bit, but we're pretty solid.
Yeah, we're good.
Just kind of going down this list of stuff here.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're on to the next one.
All right. I saw somebody was limping around last night, and I was like,
yeah, we had a couple guys. Yeah, we just were caution, and as soon as any sight of anything, like they were done.
Yep. Yeah.
They played it safe, and played it conservative, and that's the route we went, and wouldn't change it. I think that was the right thing to do.
Well, let's run down the scoreboard a little bit. MacArthur beats up Lanphier 54-zip. And we'll save the one for the last. SHG, beats up Eisenhower 64-6. Jayville over Southeast 35-8. Normal West gets Springfield High 35-7. And then the big one that we're all now looking for, Glenwood beats up U High 35-zip.
Yep.
You see that as a positive, hopefully.
Well, we get our playoff point either way, so we're good on that. And yeah, we have not seen Chatham on film at all. We don't have any. So hopefully by the time I get home, the exchange is ready to go. So we don't know anything about Chatham. We have not seen them at all. We've had a couple of tapes on U High, so we're kind of familiar with them already. We got a pretty good idea of who they are. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether to be surprised or not because we haven't seen Chatham, so don't know what to make of that yet.
Yeah, so I was just thought, boy, we can get a good look maybe at something that they did to shut you.
Oh yeah,
down.
we will look at that. Yeah, and SHD played them very, very tough a couple weeks ago as well. I think they were the ones that handed them their first loss. So yeah, we'll figure it out. We have a really good quarterback. I mean, that's probably the one thing that we're going to have to really struggle with and make sure that we're really focusing on defensively is taking away that kid's ability to make plays.
So I haven't seen them play, but what are they doing on offense?
They're a spread team.
Oh yeah.
They definitely throw it more than they run it. Their quarterback's good. Young guy. I think he's only a sophomore. Not very big. Looks like probably that kid that Rochester had last night, but he is a very good thrower. Can extend plays in the pocket, eyes downfield, finds his open receiver. He's good.
Now Chatham, I think they stayed the same. Rochester's the leader in defense. They've given up 41 points, and Chatham's right behind them, only giving up 50. And both of them get shutouts last night, so that number stays the same.
Yeah,
that's not very many points for this late season they're giving up.
No, I mean obviously a very good team. We expect Chatham to be a very good football team. Even before the season, we expected that, and we're gonna look at U High first, obviously, and defensively they're very fundamentally sound. They're where they're supposed to be at. They do some things well. But we'll have a plan and can hopefully execute it like we did last week against Jacksonville. Execute that plan and give ourselves a shot.
And how about the speed? Will we have the speed with U High?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, they got a couple of really good players. I mean, don't get me wrong. They got a receiver that's pretty athletic there, and they're solid. They're solid, but yeah, I think
they're 5-2, so they're solid.
Yeah, they're good. I think we're very similar teams when you really break it down. Like I feel like our strength of schedules and we're so far, like I think we're 1 point playoff point differential between the two of us. So that's a pretty, I feel, evenly matched game.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Playoff points.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the thing. Right now we're sitting at 23.
It's 21 now.
It's 21 now?
This morning. Yeah, I was just looking at it.
Where do you feel that number needs to be? I mean, or do you know? Do you have a guess?
Oh, 23 playoff points, but we're like seeded 20th. That's what I was talking there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It varies. Obviously, we've got people kind of tracking that stuff and doing all that stuff.
I think everybody's doing it now.
Yeah, everyone's on it now. Yeah. I think it's just going to be, we need some of these teams that are at 3 and 4, I think is where we need some of them to kind of lose one of their last two to kind of eliminate them, and then we'll kind of be in good shape.
Yeah, it looks so wide open when you try to make sense of it because you don't really know who's going to drop into 4, who might go to 3.
Yeah, you're just looking at those, like at this point, you're looking at those 4 and 2 or the 4 and 3s now and the 3 and 4s and kind of seeing what their schedule is. And you want those teams, from our side, you want those teams that are 3 and 4 to lose one of their final 2 to give them those 5 losses to eliminate them is kind of where you're kind of playing it at now.
So is you 5 and 4
qualifies but not guaranteed.
Yes.
So our mindset is he's got to go beat U High.
I agree. Yeah, go get
and
the
it's
W.
over. And just get it done.
Get over. Go get Chatham.
That'd be the next goal, and then we go from there.
Yeah, if we sit at 5 and 4, what do you think those playoff points need to be, or is that too you just don't know yet?
It changes every year. I mean, we project us to be around 33 on the conservative side, 33 there. So, I mean, that's last year that would have been good enough.
No.
So, but things were different last year. Like if you look at the last 10 years, we would have been a 5A team, but last year we would have been a 4A. So it kind of, things are just changing. Because what you have is you have teams that are co-oping. You have teams going to 8-man football. So that pool of 256 needed to get in is smaller than it was, say, 5 years ago. Because of how many, the 8-man football is now more relevant. Teams aren't playing anymore. Schools are co-oping or dropping football together. So there's so many factors into it, and it's just who knows.
Do you know how many 8-man teams we have in Illinois now?
I do not know. No.
But it's growing.
It's growing. Yeah, I mean, I know it was its own little entity for a while there, and the IHSA actually absorbed it last year, 2 years ago. So now it's affiliated with the IHSA. So enough teams are doing it where the IHSA feels that they need to get in to make their money on it.
Yeah, may as well get involved in the action.
Yeah, it seems like that's how they work sometimes.
Yep.
Kind of changing gears a little bit. I mean, tell us about lower levels. I know you had Jacksonville last week. Are you getting some games in?
Oh yeah, we're playing 2 levels. We're playing varsity, JV. I feel like that's what most teams. I think there's only 2 teams in the conference that are playing a true freshman schedule.
Chatham, they had plenty of kids.
Yeah, Chatham, sure, Rochester. That's the only ones that I really know of. So yeah, I think that's kind of what I think a lot of teams are going to. It's just the 2 levels, and you get, unfortunately, our JV gets kind of short end sometimes because we've had some opponents that they're playing some kids that played in Friday night in the game on Monday, and that's just. But I kind of understand it because if they don't do that, their kids might not have a game. So it's kind of depends how you look at it.
It's just I just use the word cheating. Boy, when you can't get 9 games as a freshman and 9 games as a sophomore, you're just getting cheated out of experience, everything.
Yeah, it's just tough when you got they're playing these kids that you're playing varsity players in a JV game. We don't do that. If a kid plays a significant number of snaps on Friday, they do not play Monday.
Sure. How did we do with Jacksonville? I watched it till halftime.
We played them tough. Our kids played really. That's probably one of the better games they played. They just at the end they were just overpowered us, and that option stuff's hard, and at the lower level you don't get to practice it as much as you do at the varsity level, and just with the obviously with how it went last week, the focus was on the varsity and make sure we were prepared, and but yeah, they're doing well. They're hanging in there, getting better, seeing some positive things, and they understand they're going to step up, and there's going to be a lot of roles to fill next year.
Will we have a game against Rochester?
Yes.
And is that when for the fans? We'll be here
Monday at Rochester. Monday at home. It'll be the last home football game, at least regular season game.
6?
Yep, 6 o'clock Monday.
Monday at 6, get out and watch the lower levels play. And that's all I had wrapped up on this for questions.
Cool.
But again, we wanted to bring up, congrats on the Chicago Bears.
Appreciate that.
And we're all wondering here, maybe you put a Cowboy jersey or something on when you go, or no?
No. Just be happy to be there and enjoy the experience, and get to be with all the other coaches that receive the honor over the course of the season. It's kind of cool. One of the coaches from the now head coach at one of the places I was assistant at up north was honored earlier this season, so it'll be kind of cool to get to see what's going on up there at Stagg High School. And
is it one coach a week, one player a week?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
that'll be very cool.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be nice.
And they also give some money to the program.
Yeah, $2,000 donation. So I'll look at something to buy something nice for our players with that.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, I heard they're putting him on the short list to actually be head coach.
Well, I'll tell you what, by week 9, they're going to be looking for one.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right. I think they've really grown the last couple of weeks. I think,
last week
Justin was he was 16 of 16 to start the game, and his only incompletion that first half was that deep Hail Mary at the end of the half there, So I think Justin's kind of doing well, and
I think he's good. I think our offensive line could be an upgrade for them.
Yeah, they got some, positive is they have 2 high draft picks.
Yeah.
First round draft picks next year, so hopefully you get some some kid out of Alabama and Georgia to kind of come in and kind of fill in there, and they'll be all right. I think they'll get it straightened out.
Well, the other short list out there might be Illinois. And I saw where they're playing Oregon and USC next year.
Yeah, that's going to be. Yeah, I was seeing something on SportsCenter had a feature last night. I was, going to bed watching it, and just how the whole landscape of college football is going to change next year with all the, you got Oklahoma, Texas going to the SEC, and then all the Big Ten changes happening, and Oregon State doesn't have a D1 home next year right now, so who knows what happens to them.
Wow.
It's just, it's going to be it's going to be different.
Yeah,
and you got the 16-team playoff starting next year, whatever it is.
Which is better, I feel.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I mean, I think the next year.
A lot more schools going to be a lot more interested in watching football, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Colorado will be in that 16.
They're fun going.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's
I love
fun
it.
stuff.
Love what Deion's doing over there and with Coach Prime. So, yeah, it'll be cool. It's going to just be interesting to see that whole landscape change.
Yep.
And I saw they did something with the transfer portal rule this week, too, at the NCAA level. I think that shortens the window or something like that.
Wow.
They need to make a few changes for that.
Yeah, I know something with the rule change made it. I haven't obviously had a chance to read it in detail. I just saw the headline that now it's opened it up so more programs can do what Coach Prime's doing at Colorado, and it pretty much just it's completely overhaul the schedule or the team overnight, the roster. So a lot of stuff going on.
Well, he did too.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun to watch it. There's a lot of Illinois actually connections on that Colorado staff. The offensive coordinator Sean Lewis, Kent State was the head coach. He's actually from Oak Lawn High School in Illinois. Yeah, he was like 2 years older than me. He was an all-state quarterback. Went to Wisconsin and played tight end. He's an Illinois guy. So yeah. From Chicagoland, yeah. Yep. Sean Lewis, their offense coordinator. So it's kind of cool.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks for stopping in. Let's get you high.
Yeah. So we get to work here.
We can settle in and get the playoff party started.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back and talk sports. Coach Lyon's going to call us at 9:30. Stay with us.
If you're not happy with the way your home landscape looks, but not sure what you need to do or how to fix it, then it might be time to get a little help from your friends at Bees Landscaping. Their highly trained and courteous staff will do all the work that fits your style and budget, including retaining walls, patios, sidewalks, leveling and grading yards, seeding and fertilizing, or new sod installation. Bees Landscaping, 1302 State Route 10. We are making a difference.
The heart of memory care consists of providing person-directed care to know and to work with each resident as an individual and to provide them with care as unique as they are. At Copper Creek Cottages Memory Care in Lincoln, our caring, compassionate staff, enriching activities, and cottage front apartments all provide the secure, safe environment that your loved one requires. Hi, I'm Deb Mox, Administrator at Copper Creek Cottages. Let Copper Creek Cottages Memory Care be the light in your journey.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.
Timber Creek Village Assisted Living understands the emotional journey of moving to a new home. That's why we work hard to make the transition as easy for you as possible. We currently have apartments available and invite you to come by and let us show you how we can provide you with a stress-free lifestyle and why Timber Creek Village is top choice for retirement living in Lincoln. You'll enjoy private apartments, 3 home-cooked meals a day, daily activities, socialization with other residents, and care centered around your individual needs. Timber Creek Village, where people become friends and friends become family.
This is Reed Detmers with the Los Angeles Angels, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Shabadoo on 96.3 WLCN.
Welcome back to another Saturday morning on the Cheap Seats, where we are the #1 ranked show in Logan County between 9 and 10 for 22 straight years. I don't know how we keep our ratings.
Thanks
but we
to
do.
J-Mac and his family.
Yes. Now, J-Mac's out in St. Louis.
The Lou.
And he's tuned into
Tuned
us.
in, yeah.
I'll tell you what, J-Mac.
Dedication.
You're a soldier. And also, thanks for your donation to the program.
Yes.
Again, thank you.
Yep.
I did want to say also that
We squeaked by this week and made our goal.
we are a fundraising event. Joel Vinson, that's a guy that knows everything about some things. He said that there are 32 eight-man football teams in Illinois this year.
Yeah,
wow, is that
really
way more than I
grew.
thought?
What was it last year when the IHSA pulled them in, I believe?
Yeah.
And it really grew overnight. I mean, and it's gonna. I mean, they'll probably in the next 2 years probably double.
Yeah, amazingly.
It's getting harder and harder to get kids to play.
Yeah, then people get worried about the injury bug and all that, but you can get hurt doing anything. So let's keep playing. Let's keep the linemen in the ball game. That, to me, that's the most fun.
Well, I think the most fun is when you put the linemen away from the play call and just keep them guessing.
Helpful.
Generally speaking, I believe that's what the Bears do. And you look at the success they're having now. I mean, it's...
Yeah. Does the offensive line for the Bears know the play?
Oh, no chance. Absolutely no chance. They're just... Now, they got to the point of the season, they figured out their offensive coordinators are drunk. He can't form complete sentences, so they just have Fields do whatever Fields wants to do, and now he's being successful.
Yeah, let Fields roam, man. Let him go.
Let him
you know
go.
His last name Fields. Let him play the field.
That kid, I'm telling you right now, man. You put Patrick Mahomes on the Chicago Bears. What's happening right now? The Bears are looking how they're going to spend their first-round draft pick next year on a quarterback. That's what happens. They are awful.
You think they're that bad?
They are awful. How they won that last game, I have no idea. I mean, I will say this: the last 2 weeks, though, well, this week and then last weekend, Fields looked more like himself. Like, so they've done something, and they're allowing him to be the kind of quarterback he is. Yes. With that being said, they are awful.
We're getting all this in because Kirby's not here.
I wish he was here. It's more fun when he's here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I mean, you look at him squirm like, oh, well, that's my team. And whatever. It doesn't take away from the fact that they're bad.
Yeah, they are. They're Michael Jackson bad.
Oh, bad.
Bad. Sing that song. Could you?
No.
Maybe Jim will bring that in later. Look at it. No, he's not going to. But there's a lot of bad NFL teams. We're going to talk about them.
There are not. There's like 3.
We didn't realize this, but we want to send this out. Hey, J-Mac, we want to be nice to you. We got another text in that you got out of bed this morning and rolled out and hurt yourself. So I guess
he was with Kirby.
He's at the emergency room. Getting fixed up. I don't know, he's knocked a hip out or something getting out of bed.
Yeah. He does have that hip issue.
Yeah, so this probably staying at a hotel. It's a little higher up off the ground. You didn't realize the difference in height. And,
well, he's kind of a baller, too. You know, he's probably has a really nice hotel room with a little thicker mattress and just didn't know what to do.
You could be right. I'm looking at our clock right now. I think we're going to we're going to stay here. You calling? You want to take a break? Yeah. Hey, why don't we let's jump into like a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with Coach Lyons.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
Hey, this is Tony Semple, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Shabadoo on 96.3 FM WLCN.
Before we go with Coach Lyons, you got an update?
I got a little. Hey guys, for all the listeners out there, we got a little update on Kirby and J-Mac. I guess they were injured in the same hotel room. Josh was getting out of bed, fell out of bed, and landed on Kirby, and now you got some information as well?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on now, but the hotel shut down, and I guess they're getting paramedics in and out of there. So. We'll get an update from them soon.
The rest of the people, all the guys in the room were taking a knee until they figured out.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out what's wrong. We'll hopefully somebody can get back with us. Hey, Coach Lyons, you with us?
I'm here, guys. I'm here.
Well, we haven't talked to you in a long time. But did we talk to you last week? Okay,
well,
it's been a long time.
To me for a long time, Joe.
I was gone. Okay, I'm going to go backwards in time with you a little bit because you're kind of a big deal. Did these guys?
First, I want to say, after hearing that commercial, I'm ready to sign up for some life insurance from Country. I'm telling you what.
because you need life insurance.
We've only got a few apps left.
Everybody does.
So
my dad is a life insurance salesman.
Yeah,
I know.
He knows all about it. He knows about the insurance gig. Hey, I want to know if these guys even gave you the kudos of the Williamsville win. That's what I wanted to bring up.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember how much we talked about it, but I think it was mentioned.
Okay, well, you beat Williamsville a couple of weeks ago, 27-20, which I felt was like maybe the biggest win in the program's history. Correct?
Well, I don't know that I can speak over 50 years of Olympia football, but I feel like
your
it's probably got to be on the Mount Rushmore there somewhere.
Yeah, your program, for sure, since you've been there. That's a big
Oh, yeah. We had a really nice home win against St. Joe in the playoffs last year, which was a pretty great one, too, to go to the quarterfinals. But, a lot of people got to give Coach Ron Smith deserves a lot of credit, too. I mean, he went to the state title there in 1985. They lost to Providence in the title game. So, we're still trying to chase that, I think.
You chase that state title, yeah. You're for sure. I misspoke there. I meant in your years there. I thought that Williamsville win.
You definitely misspoke.
Well, I do it.
You've never done that before, right, Joe?
Oh, no. I probably mistake-free for the past 10 seconds. But you came off last night. Well, we'll skip on up then because you must have talked about New Berlin. Let's talk, and then you talked Moreau Forsyth. How good was the Moreau Forsyth?
I talked to a lot of coaching friends and after that game, and a lot of people want to know how good they really are. And I told friends, I said, well, we had our chances to win that game for sure.
With them, 35,
really
26.
Penalties and a turnover really kind of cost us an opportunity to take the lead in the fourth quarter as opposed to being down a score. Well, as opposed to being down 2. And but I'll say this with confidence. My first year at Olympia, we played a Monticello team that won the state title. And I really think the team that Moreau has this year is certainly more talented than that team. And so I'll be, I think the honest truth is if they go 2A South and the only team that may be able to beat them is Athens that's in our own league, and so
only other loss.
I think they're really good. And our league is just loaded this year. I mean, even the team we played last night has a quarterback that would start for just about anybody. I mean, Danny Skelton's his name, and he's a great player.
And we're talking
last night he threw for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown, had an interception.
Yeah, doing it all.
Yeah.
And for the listeners, that's Pleasant Plains, and you took care of them last night, 61-21.
Yeah.
So you've got things rolling over there, and that puts you at 5-2. So that had to be that's a happy time.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a nice place to be. I mean, we become playoff eligible for the second year in a row, and that's exciting. I mean, I don't think that's been done at Olympia since maybe 1990, 1991. So it's been a while since that's happened, and it secures the fact that 3 out of our last 4 seasons are winning seasons. And so, this group of seniors is particularly special, and they have really changed the culture of Olympia football.
No, it's as I say, you're rolling along. You're putting up 61 points. So you had some success last night with the option, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's I tried to get a little cute in the first quarter, and it probably set us back a little bit. We threw a pass, and I mean, most people would say that's not being cute, but for us, sometimes that is. And so I told the boys after they gave us all we wanted in the first quarter. We were actually down at the end of the first quarter in that game. And then I said, well, I'm not going to call another pass in this game, and you guys are going to have to find a way to get it done. And our offensive line's just playing really good football right now, and our backs run hard, and they're hard to get down. And Zach, our quarterback's just doing a great. I always tell people you don't have to have great athletes to run the triple option. You just got to have a guy at quarterback that's going to be a great decision maker. He's got to get the ball to the right guy, and Zach does that better than any other kid I've had. He does a great job of getting the ball to the right guy and trusting his teammates to make plays, and we're blessed to. And people always say triple option something run when they don't have talent, but I always tell people, well, look what they do when they do have talent. You know what I mean? And so,
Jamel Holloway was pretty talented. He ran an option.
When you look back to like when Paul Johnson was at Georgia Southern, and they were the most talented team, they were winning or going to the national championship every single year. And I mean, you can look at Nebraska in the 90s, look at Oklahoma in the 80s. You know what I mean? So people didn't stop running it because it doesn't work.
No,
people stopped running because they felt like they couldn't recruit.
Yeah, everybody wants that passing game, and it's more exciting, I guess. See, I'm an old option guy. I loved watching Oklahoma and those guys run that option, and they made that pitch look. It was so great to watch. The dive and then step out there, and then that long pitch to the backfield, and the guy just catch it and turn the corner. It's just cool.
Well, I think it's like watching a highly choreographed. Dance routine. You just sit back and you watch in amazement sometimes. I mean, I love the stuff people do now, but the thing a lot of people don't realize is they've just backed the quarterback up 5 yards. They're running triple option. It's just the third option is a pass now instead of a pitch.
True.
And so everybody's, if you're not running some type of triple option football now, everybody runs some type of option football nowadays. It's just ours is under center. So.
And I'll tell you what, it takes a gutsy kid to stand back there and take that snap and look around and make those decisions and be calm.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're pretty fortunate our freshmen are doing great this year, but, we've only had one, well, this will be our second year, but since I've been at Olympia, we've only had one winning record at the freshman level, and that's because it takes a lot of time to learn how to do it.
You're going to make those mistakes, and
that's exactly right. I mean, when they're first starting out, it's always one of my favorite moments of the whole week. I'll just kind of use this as an example, is when we're watching in pregame and the other team is trying to show a scout of our stuff. And it's just humorous to watch them do it because they can't. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the things that I feel like gives us an advantage.
I 100% agree.
It takes us 2-3 years to figure out how to run it. How are they going to figure out how to run it in 3 days?
Yeah, they're not going to give their defense a good look, and that's a big advantage to you guys. Absolutely.
Yeah, and, half of them just say, all right, well, we're done with the ball. We're just going to try to run the plays without it, And so it is always humorous to see them do it. And some of them do. I mean, not to say that we haven't been stopped, because we certainly have, but it is challenging. It takes time, and that's why I think that's part of the reason why not a lot of people do it anymore, is because you got to be fully committed to it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to run it, you better be fully committed to it, because there is good triple option is really hard to start, but bad triple option may be the ugliest football ever played known to man.
Well, and you don't just jump in and say, well, we're going to run triple option this play. Now, you may have it kind of look like it, but you pre-called it and said, hey, keep the ball, just, make it look like something. But, to run it, you just don't run it. You either run it or you don't.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, I was raised from birth to love it. It's what my dad ran.
I was going to say, your dad ran it, didn't he?
They won the title in 1980, and so, it's been ingrained in my since the time I was old enough to talk.
Well, that's why you know it so well. Tell us about next week. I don't have that. Who you play next week?
We play Auburn next week.
All right.
A big game. It's the way our schedule stacks up this year. It's definitely been a meat grinder. I mean, we will only play 2 teams with a losing record when we play them the whole year, and that was week 2, and then week 9, Porto will have a losing record. So everybody else has had a winning record or been state ranked when we've played them, and so it's and Auburn's a really good football team. I mean, they're throwing the ball all over the place. I mean, they have great. Their staff does a great job. Obviously, a great tradition at that program.
Sure, and big tradition over there.
Yeah, and so we're going to have our work cut out for us for sure. They have a really good defensive line. And, like I like to say, it's just some frisbee catching dogs playing receiver.
Well, that's tough to defend when you can pull that off, just like the option. Yeah.
Right. I think, that's what makes Maroa so challenging. I mean, they have 4 kids that are like 6'3" and above going up to get the ball. Not too many teams at our level have DBs that have you have 4 DBs that size that can match up with those dudes.
No, you're exactly right. So are you headed over to Auburn? They coming to you?
No, they're coming to our place this year. It'll be our senior night next week. So I'm hoping that there's going to be a rocking crowd at Stanford.
There'll be a big crowd, that's for sure. You need to get that 6, get that 6th one in there.
That's the hope. It's nice to know for sure that you're in.
Yes.
5, you're crossing your fingers. Yeah. You're hoping you have enough playoff points to get in, and there's with the year you and I coached together at Bloomington, Joe, we fell just short of that.
Yep. Had a shot, and the points weren't there.
And I think we missed it by a point. I think we were right at the cutoff. I was just going to
say, it was a point or 2. It was tight. And that was a good team. We had a good team.
Oh, we had a great team that year. We just the Big 12 is always interesting, right? Because it always depends on who you draw in your crossover games. If you draw tough, it can be a really tough road to hoe. But if you draw the right crossovers, you can be 6-3 and get right in. We just had a tough. I think we had Peoria High, who scored like 900 points that year. I think we gave up 63, and I felt good about it.
That was an unbelievable game. It got over at like midnight.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I think the next year it was like 90 something to 72.
Yeah, there's just the gas pedal all the time in that conference.
Oh man, no doubt.
Especially with Peoria.
And my first year as a coordinator there, we gave up just a shade over 300 points, and that's almost 30. That's a little over 30 a game. and we were the third best defense in the league that year.
That means Luke needs to throw a little more, right?
Right, exactly. Exactly. I tell our DC all the time. I said, you got the best coordinator job in the country.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
The clock is always running.
I'm going to go over here and run the clock for you. Luke didn't like to run that clock.
No, that's okay though. You know, those guys.
Yeah, he was great.
They scored a lot of points, so.
Yeah, he was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Coach. Well, congrats on the W. You got 5. You're playoff eligible, and I'm
excited for the Railers too.
Yeah, Railers got 5. They got a big game next week against U-High. You know about U-High?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, they're playing good football right now too.
Yeah, it should be a good game.
Yeah, I think so. Is that at Lincoln or is that at?
Oh, it's over on the turf, Hancock Stadium.
Oh man, gonna fill that baby up.
Yeah, we'll pack the house. What we're gonna do over there? We need everybody in this town over there next Friday night.
That'll get it close. Yeah.
That'll be a great game though.
Yeah, I feel pretty evenly matched about it, and they're both 5-2, and big game for us to get to that 6.
Yeah. I mean, do they think they're going to have to get to 6 right now to get in?
I don't. Who knows? We just talked about it earlier, and it's just
the cut line has dropped in the last few years because there's just less schools playing football, so it's not pushing it as high as it used to be.
So that'll help. Yeah, so you don't know. You want to get that 6. You know that.
Yeah, win, punch your ticket, and
let all those teams with 5 wins, let them in. Maybe you'll create a little more excitement with the students.
Let them play each other and have that pigtail in.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, why not? I mean, all you're going to do is
like the Major League Baseball does now, right? You get your playing game.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do that. Have that little pigtail game.
You have to admit, Coach, it's getting harder and harder to get kids out.
I won't be shocked if districts comes back around again, guys.
It always does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I won't be surprised. I mean, just all the conference realignment. I know everybody's chasing to get 5.
Yep. Yep. Everybody wants 5. But you can't blame them, man. It's exciting around here.
I don't blame any coach, man.
It's exciting
for wanting to try to get there.
No. All right, Coach. Good talking to you.
Yeah, you
Congrats, and we'll visit with you next week.
Yeah, have a great weekend, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You too.
Go Spartans.
Go Spartans. Coach Lyons joined us from Olympic High School. He makes it to 5-2. They're playoff eligible also. We'll join him next week. Hopefully he can get that 6th W. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back and talk about something. Stay with us.
This is Lauren Wallace, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Scott on 96.3 FM.
Joseph.
You welcome back to the Cheap Seats on a beautiful, what I'm going to call fall Saturday morning.
It's a big GBR win day, baby.
We've been GBR.
Go Big Red.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. We've been visiting and talking high school football, and now we're going to move on to not Illinois football because Jake's with us, but Cornhusker football. Tell us about Nebraska. Who have they played lately, and how are they doing?
Listen, they're not having the greatest of seasons.
Okay.
You know, I was watching the game the other day against Michigan. Michigan is the class of the Big Ten. I'll say that. And I see my guy Dave Pointnoy walking around Barstool Sports with a shirt that says "Make Nebraska mediocre again." and us Nebraska fans are like, "Yes, bring us there." And I think we're on the right track. I mean, we've got some bumps in the roads, but we've got some good kids coming. We've got a big recruiting class coming next year, so we'll see how that plays out.
I want to talk about last night.
Last night, we had Illinois. We were playing at Illinois, and they pull off the big win. They did allow Illinois into the end zone, so it ended up 27, but
20-7.
20-7.
Wow.
They do have a solid defense. I will say that. Their offense is having some hiccups, but
so Nebraska's what's their record? I don't know.
I think they're let me verify this.
You verify it, but I know that I thought
3-3. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say 3-3, but two of those losses were to like Michigan and somebody else that's
Colorado.
Oh yeah, Colorado. So that's two. Those are two very good football teams that beat you. So.
And then they also lost in a great game opening week. Actually, I think they were first game out against Minnesota. So
yeah, but they're, then they come over to beat Illinois, which is a game that I feel like Illinois has got to win. That's
Oh, it was one of those games. Illinois back-to-back weeks. You had Purdue last week. I happened to be at that game. And then against Nebraska this week. Both those games could have been winnable because both those programs, Nebraska and Purdue, are a little bit down from where they want to be, I'm sure they would say. And, boy, Illinois just got taken advantage of.
Well, I was going to say, and as an Illinois fan, we have to look at those two games as we got to get W's in those games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are two
absolutely.
must-wins.
They're must-wins. Yeah, absolutely, for the program and everything else. I mean, and I don't know what Illinois has in the pipeline, to be honest. I haven't followed them enough. But it just, a lot of things aren't looking good for them right now.
Yeah, you start those, yeah. It doesn't look good for Illinois right now, but didn't look good for Chicago either. Then all of a sudden they beat the Redskins. Commanders.
Absolutely. They had back-to-back games where their offense wasn't looking inept. I mean, they actually looked like, oh, you know what, they're having a decent week. I mean, if you're into fantasy and you had DJ Moore this week, oh, that's a big week right there. I think he had, 3 touchdowns last night? About 230 yards? I mean, there was a lot going right there last night, I'll say that.
Do we have any updates on J-Mac and the J-Mac and Kirby situation? Joe Vincent, he's a bright guy. He just texted in and said it sounds to him like J-Mac needs a new mattress. And aren't you having that inventory reduction sale?
We're having an inventory reduction sale, so we can definitely take care of J-Mac. And there may be the police aren't ruling out a homicide. We'll just say that.
J-Mac being fingerprinted right now.
He's being held for questioning.
You're a baseball guy.
I am.
So throw something out at us. What's going to go on here? It all starts today, right?
So, well,
You going back to updates on J-Mac?
The next round begins today. We'll say that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, Tampa Bay got ousted by Texas. I think that I think that was kind of a surprise for a lot of people. I mean, Tampa Bay had a great year.
Dominated all year. Yep.
Texas has been really good. Jordan Montgomery, former Cardinal there, the guy traded over. He had a great first round. I mean, and then there's some Cardinals spread out amongst all this, so it's fun to see. You got the Texas playing the Orioles, Twins and Astros, Phillies and Braves. That's a big one right there. Hey old man.
How about Lloyd's Phillies beat in there again?
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Lloyd. Give him a clap, Jim.
Just one. And then Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. So what was that?
They get every time we have this, Lloyd opens up a box of chuckles over there. And
yeah.
It's stuck all over his teeth and everything. Look at him giggle.
Who do you like in these games, Joe? Do you know any of these teams? Texas and the Orioles. Who you like?
I am Orioles all the way. My brother-in-law grew up going to all the Oriole games, so let's go
Okay. Former St. Louis Browns. And then the Twins and Astros?
Houston, they cheat, don't they?
Houston loves to cheat. That means they like to win.
Yeah. And then Minnesota cheated when they turned those fans on and off with the Cardinals that year.
Absolutely.
So you know what? I don't like either one of those teams. I'm not.
Neither one. Not going to pick for either one of those.
Not going to cheer for either one of those teams.
All right. That means you got the Orioles going to the World Series.
The O's in the World Series.
Then you got the Phillies and Braves. You got a big Phillies fan right across from there.
I root for Lloyd. I hope the Phillies get in there, but I'll be perfectly happy with another Kevin Seitzer appearance at the.
Bringing out the chop.
All
right, and then you got the Diamondbacks against the Dodgers in a series that nobody cares. He'll tell you anyway.
I like that Dodger blue. And
that's the only reason.
I got to take care of Pedro. Pedro, big Dodger fan.
Huge Dodger fan, absolutely.
So, yeah.
So Dodgers, and you like Dodgers and Braves next round.
Dodgers, Braves, and the O's win it all.
All right. Ooh, you heard it here first. So if you're a betting man or gal, don't bet for the Orioles.
Yeah. We figured that right out.
Joe has
given them the kiss of death.
Yeah,
now that's over with. Well, that's about all we can do for our fans today. We've filled them full of football knowledge, other useless bits of information. Again, we want to wish the best to Scott Kirby and J-Mac. Hope that goes okay.
Let's also, my niece Sydney Johnston is over in Havana racing today. Big drag race going on. Hopefully she can pull off another W for Johnston Racing, and sponsored by Jake's Furnishings.
And don't forget to stop by the inventory reduction sale going on.
Big sale.
Live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.